Sara, the charismatic host of Beyond the Veil, a podcast exploring paranormal mysteries, had always felt a certain thrill in uncovering the darker sides of reality. One listener, known only as Silent Listener, was a particularly dedicated fan. He had followed Sara's work for years, always sending intricate theories and compelling insights. But recently, Silent Listener sent a message that was different, short, cryptic, and unsettling. You can't unhear it. Don't listen to the last frequency. The message gnawed at Sara, and then, only days later, she received news from another listener. Silent Listener had gone missing. Her unease grew into an obsession. She reached out to a friend of his, Emily, who agreed to meet Sara and take her to his house, hoping to find some clue. Silent Listener's home was quiet, almost eerily untouched, as if he had vanished mid-thought. Inside, the air felt thick, charged with a strange energy. As they explored, Sara spotted his phone lying on the kitchen counter, its screen frozen on the app Silent Echoes, a paranormal frequency tuner he had apparently been obsessed with in his final days. He wouldn't stop talking about it, Emily whispered. He was certain it was a way to connect with something beyond. But he warned me too, that the last frequency was dangerous. Sara's hand lingered on the phone, feeling a pull she couldn't quite explain. She pocketed it, her curiosity ignited, but as they moved through the house, she noticed something on the bedroom wall, words scrawled in dark, dried ink. You can't unhear it. The sight made her stomach drop. The words seemed to pulse in the dim light, their meaning growing heavier by the second. That night, unable to resist, Sara opened Silent Echoes. She put on her headphones, took a deep breath, and pressed play on the first frequency. A soft hum filled her ears, growing deeper and sharper, like a quiet melody that tugged at her nerves. Gradually, voices joined in, faint whispers that seemed to slip in and out of her hearing. She thought she heard one whisper close to her ear. Turn back. She pulled off her headphones, her heart pounding. The voices lingered in her mind, replaying over and over as if they had left a mark. That night, her dreams were dark, full of shadows and strange sounds, like voices calling to her from a place she couldn't see. Days passed, and she couldn't shake her growing curiosity about the app, the last frequency. The thought crept into her mind, beckoning to her, until she couldn't ignore it any longer. She picked up the phone once more, feeling a surge of both fear and excitement as she scrolled to the final frequency. She hesitated, took a deep breath, and pressed play. A rumbling hum filled her ears, so deep she felt it vibrating through her bones. The voices returned, but louder, more insistent, chanting her name over and over, like they were reaching for her from another realm. Then, she looked up and froze. In the reflection of her window, she saw herself, staring back. But her reflection's eyes were hollow, its expression twisted. Slowly, her reflection began to smile, a cold, lifeless grin. Silent Listener's voice echoed in her ears. It's too late, Sara. You're part of the echo now. Panic surged through her. She ripped out the headphones, but the whispers didn't stop. They echoed in her mind, loud and unrelenting. A faint knock sounded at her door. Emily had come to check on Sara, driven by a gnawing sense of dread. She called Sara's name, but there was no answer. As she opened the door, Emily found Sara sitting on her bed, clutching the phone tightly, her eyes vacant and unseeing. Emily reached for the phone, but as soon as she touched it, a jolt shot through her hand, like a pulse of icy electricity. A faint whisper filled her mind. You are the last frequency, Sara. You are the echo. The next day, fans noticed that Beyond the Veil hadn't uploaded its usual episode. Then, 3 days later, a new episode appeared without warning. It was just Sara's voice, quiet and hollow, repeating the same phrase over and over. You can't unhear it. You can't unhear it. In the background, a low hum pulsed, growing louder with each repetition. Listeners, curious and captivated, found themselves listening again and again, unable to stop. And soon reports began to emerge of strange whispers haunting those who'd tuned in, voices that called their names from the darkness. The echo had found new listeners, drawing them deeper into the frequency that could never be silenced.